I'm from ITI Taliganj.
Okay, from different colleges. Oh, so nice, very nice. So I'm very thankful and very feeling very grateful that I can speak something about this wonderful topic of search for happiness. And very nice to meet all of you. So all the budding youths of a country filled with energy and enthusiasm. I see Ayan, Mithun, Mohol, Nandini, Shamrat, Somnath, and Suraj. So thank you very much for joining this session. I hope you can learn some valuable lessons from this session and try to implement in this life. And hopefully, these sessions and seminars, whatever you're learning from us and all the different eminent speakers, so that will help you to become a better person in your life. So today is a very wonderful topic. Yes, sir. The topic is search for happiness. So Akshay sir, you can share the screen. Yeah. Nice. So before we start, so we want this session to be very interactive. Okay. So I would request that you can ask questions in between, or if you want, if when I ask questions, you can also answer. So that will be very nice, and this will make the session very interactive, and you can learn together. So before we start, my question to all of you that what is the goal of your life? What do you think? What is the thing that you are striving for in your life? Hmm. So before that, so do you think that we should have a goal in life or not?
Yes, sir.
Who would like to answer? Anybody? Okay, let's break the ice. Let's come up with some ideas. Let's think and let us suggest whatever you have in your mind. You can speak. Need not be related to this only. So, what do you think? So, first question: do you think that we should have a goal in life? And if we have a goal in life, that what is the goal that you are striving in your life? Anybody? Okay, all are feeling shy. So I can tell about myself. So as you know that I was a graduate from IIT Kharagpur. So when I was studying in IIT Kharagpur and when I just entered IIT Kharagpur, I came with this mindset that okay, I have this life. I'm an IITian. I have to become a good engineer, and in the future that I have to earn a lot of money, and with this money I will have a very nice bungalow, nice car, and nice facilities to enjoy. So that was my goal of life when I came into IIT Kharagpur, when I started my college engineering career. Okay, that is my goal in life. So how many of you feel that this is you have the same goal in life? I think most of us, isn't it? So most of us are having the similar goals that okay, we want to be enjoy, we want to enjoy in life. Hmm. So, but in after going through my career, after going spending some few years in IIT, we got a news that in 1 year of our this my career in college engineering, that 1 year there was 5 suicides in the college campus. So when I heard this, I was shocked. That see, IIT is the most pinnacle institute of the country. You agree with me, isn't it? And even in this situation, and where people are very brilliant minded, they have very high IQ, intelligence, and when they come, also their career is secured. That you will not find anybody who is striving for getting a job. IT, everyone is getting a job, but still in 1 year there was 5 people committing suicide. Hmm. So when I pondered over it, why is it so that when I searched for the news, it was said that okay, there was one person who had a breakup with a girl, and that's why he committed suicide. Hmm. There was one guy who was like he got a job also, he got placed also, he was good in studies also, but he did not know the purpose of his life. That's why he committed suicide. And the third person was completely depressed. Depressed of what? Like no reason. He was depressed in his life. That's why he committed suicide. So you see that people are in depression, going into depression, taking such harsh steps because they don't know what is the goal in life. And but if you see the purpose, the purpose because of which we do any activity is because we want enjoyment, isn't it? A great person, a great eminent person had once said that everyone is looking for happiness in some way or the other. Whatever thing we do in our life, whatever even the small things in our life, we do for getting happiness, getting enjoyment. So my question to why you are studying in this engineering college? Who wants to answer? Let's say why you are studying in this engineering college first of all. Okay, let's come up with some answers. Don't feel shy. Let's interact. Let it be more interactive session and let's discuss. So you feel that you will also feel very nice and you find the subject matter very relevant to you. Anybody would like to answer? Come up. What about Somnath, Suraj, Soham, Sanvay?
So first of all, get a job, then
Okay.
become a successful person and honest
Yeah,
person.
nice. You see, Somnath has a nice goal in life. First, he wants to get a job, isn't it? Purpose of coming into engineering college is to get a job. Then earn money. Then what, Somnath?
Helping poor people, sir.
Oh, it's such a nice goal. Helping poor people in life. Very nice. So then what, Somnath? Okay. So Somnath, why? What is the motivation for you to do such things? Why do you want to help people? Why do you want to get a job and be successful in life? Okay, I'll help you. You see, because we want to be happy in life. Anything what we do, we want to get some happiness in life. So just like getting a job, getting earning money. So what will it help us to become in life? It will help us to become more and more happy, isn't it? So helping the poor, doing selfless service for the society, for the nation, it will help us to become happy in life. So anybody is there who wants to be sad and depressed in life and stay like that? Anybody is there? You can just raise your hand. I think you can speak up also. That who wants just to be sad and depressed? That is the only thing that they want in life. No, everybody wants to be happy in life. So happiness is the goal. So do you agree with me or not? I don't know. There is no mechanism that you can raise hand here, but I hope that you are with me. Or if you have some different opinion, you can just pick up and you can just tell me, inform me that everyone's goal in life is to get happiness some way or the other. Whatever activity you do from the childhood till the end of life, whatever we're doing, we are doing for happiness. But this happiness is also for different how to get happiness in life. That different aspects. So people like some people think that by a material satisfaction, by material goods, by material commodities, we can be happy in life. So, so we'll see to it. So Akshay sir, you can just proceed through a slide. Yeah, you see that when we have come to this point of time in engineering career, we are bombarded with so many questions like what is God? Why do bad things happen to good people? So how to make impossible things possible? How to achieve unending happiness? Can we get whatever we want in life? So these are the questions that are troubling our mind each and every day, isn't it? We are into so much doubt and confusion, and the end of it is who am I, isn't it? So these things we have discussed in a previous session also, and we will be discussing in a coming sessions also that the answers to this question. The so intelligent person is one who asks such questions, that who am I? What is the purpose of life? I want to be happy in life. And if I want to be happy in life, what is the way I can be happy in life? Yes, Akshay, you can go to the next slide. Yeah. But the problem is that although we want to be happy in life, that do you think the modern technology, the modern things, the modern gadgets, and all the commodities that we are just that is just at the tip of our fingers nowadays. So can these things make us happy in life? How many of you feel that WhatsApp or Facebook or even your smartphone can give us can give us happiness? Yes. because this happiness is very temporary, isn't it? So once upon a time, there was a very rich billionaire in the United States, and he has so much wealth. He had so much wealth. So one day, what happened? So this billionaire, he had a desire in his heart that he wanted to marry a young, beautiful actress of the Hollywood. And she was this billionaire was very old person somehow. He had become already 60 years of age. But due to his wealth and due to his pride and prestige and position, that he had the desire that he would like to marry a 25-year-old actress. So this is a very real incident that I'm telling you. So this so happened that somehow she asked this actress whether she would want to marry her or not. And this lady also, she was very attracted to the wealth of this billionaire. And she immediately agreed. But somehow it happened a 60-year-old and a 25-year-old woman, they could never go together. Okay. So on next day they started quarreling. And somehow it happened that this man got to know that then what happened is that because of the so much distress and so much tension and so much quarrel between them, this man thought that better I get divorced and better I leave her. And when this lady got to know that yes, this man is going to leave me, but if he leaves me, what about his property? उसको wealth का क्या होगा? अभी तो शादी हो गया. So after they married, then the whole property would come to her if this man died. And also he is about to die. He is so much 60 years of age. So she thought that no, 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 she cannot divorce it like that. So she started making a plan. What was the plan? That somehow or the other she would try to kill this man. So when this man got this news that okay, she is trying to kill her, so what she did, this man did, this billionaire, 60-year-old, that he kept two bodyguards in his house, and so that for his own protection. And when this girl lady, this actress, when she heard that this man is keeping two bodyguards for his own protection, and on the way, she is also contriving, making a plan to kill her. She also kept two bodyguards in her house. So it so happened in the same house, both of them were living, and both had three bodyguards protecting each of them. But they were husband and wife. One is 60, one is 25. So this is how the material nature is. This material nature is full of hankering. So hankering and lamentation are the two sides of the same coin. Okay. Lakshya, you can go to the next slide. You can just forward. Yes. You see this, we are always striving for enjoyment and happiness in life. But somehow these material commodities, the tendencies in us, they always, whatever we do, they will keep us in dissatisfied, full of anxiety, stress, depressed, and above all, unhappy. Yes. We cannot be happy by these material commodities. They can give us only temporary joy, temporary enjoyment, but not eternal satisfaction. So according to the Shastras, this happiness that we are looking for, search for happiness, is like in three categories, in three levels that we can look for this happiness in us. So one is the level of Sukh, one is the level of Ananda, one is the level of Shanti. So it is said in the Shastras that the happiness that we get on the material platform, the physical comfort and the physical level of peace that we get is the platform of Sukh. But do you think that just by the absence of distress, but just by this physical comfort, we can stay happy in life? Okay. Anybody has any opinion on it? That just by physical comfort means, okay, we have no problems in life. We have no suffering in life. We have no distress. Can we be ever happy in life? No, isn't it? We need some enjoyment. We need some association. We need something to be happy. So that physical level of happiness is Sukh, but it is not eternal. That is very temporary, as we saw in the previous example also. So just because of our wrong desires of getting happiness in a wrong way, we can end up in so much trouble. So then it is said that the next level of happiness is above Sukh, that comes Shanti. So Shanti is the platform of happiness that we experience on the mental level. So on this mental level of shanti is just like our the absence of any distress. We are always peaceful, we are always calm. But so this just absence of distress in our life or calmness, with this, can we ever be happy in life? Is it like sufficient for us to stay eternally happy? Yes. So that is one level of happiness, but again, that is also temporary. So that will also never last long. There will be distresses coming in life. So above that, the eternal and the most existing platform of happiness, Ananda. So this Ananda platform of happiness is not just belong to the material domain. Hmm. Because it is said in the scriptures, I think you have also heard it many times in the sessions that we are not material beings with some experience. Actually, in reality, we are spiritual beings with some material experience. So there is a subtle aspect of it. So how many of you know that there exists a soul beyond this body? Hmm. And can anybody of you tell me that what is the characteristics of this soul? Okay. So you can speak. If you remember, you can tell. It will be very nice. So we have heard it many times that we are not just this body. This body is just the material covering, and is all the like the. Here's a very nice example. So this example is of a bird in a cage. So how many of you know this example? So just like a person who was had a bird and like a pet bird, and he put that bird in a cage, and every day he used to come and polish that cage very nicely with all the liquids and things. He would make the cage very nice, polished and looking very attractive. But after 1 week, what happened when he found, when he again came to polish the cage, he found that the bird sitting inside the cage, it had died, passed away. So why it happened like that? Happened because he forgot to feed the bird, isn't it? He was always, his attention was how to make the cage more polished and make the cage look attractive. But somehow he forgot to feed the bird. And then this bird died. Hmm. So similarly, do you think that same situation we face in our own lives? We are struggling very hard in our lives, isn't it? We struggle very hard in our school days. Then we struggle very hard to clear entrance exam to come into this college. And after coming into this college, studying engineering, we are still struggling hard. We are still struggling hard with the environment and the pandemic forces, and so much to do. Hmm. But somehow or the other, everything is focused that how to take care of this external body, isn't it? Bodily platform, material consciousness. But what we lack is that spiritual understanding. What we lack is the spiritual nourishment, the spiritual food and the substance. So just like to make the bird healthy in the cage, we had to feed the bird. Hmm. So just polishing would not suffice, isn't it? The polishing would just make the cage look very attractive, just like we are maintaining the body. So from the outside, we may look very attractive, but inside we are depressed. So how many of you have seen that they are smiling faces but crying hearts? There was in recent or some months back there was a very big news in the media that there was a great comedian and he was a very famous and very expert in his business to make other people laugh. And somehow what happened, one day he committed suicide. So people were very shocked. So this same person who was making others people laugh and like cry out in laughter, in joy, and this same person, he was so much depressed in his heart. So it is example of smiling faces but crying hearts. So no matter externally we like externally we might look very happy and jubilant, but if we do not feed the inner soul, if we do not feed the inner nature, inner consciousness, if we don't provide spiritual food to our own self, to our own soul, we will not get satisfaction. And when we are able to do that, so then we will be on the platform of Ananda or bliss. Because in the Shastras it is said that the nature of the soul is three characteristics. Okay. So I want that all of you in this session remember these three characteristics after this when I say. So anybody of you know any one of these characteristics of the soul? Okay, no problem. So I want that you remember these three characteristics, the three characteristics of the soul. So they are Sat, Chit, and Ananda. So Sat stands for eternity, eternal. Chit stands for full of knowledge, and Ananda means full of bliss. So Sat means eternal. So just like you see that all of us are present here, isn't it? And even though there's so much pandemic going outside, and we see that so many people are dying outside, you ask any of your friends, you ask any of your friends, like, do you think that this pandemic will hit you and you will die the next day? Nobody will agree, isn't it? Because even though they are living, we are seeing people are dying outside, nobody will believe that one day will come when I will meet death, when I will pass away. Hmm. So that is the like miracle of this nature. Nobody thinks that one day will come that I have to die. Because in the presence of soul is eternal. Soul never dies. The soul keeps on continuing its journey, life after life. Soul is eternal. The Sat, Chit means full of knowledge, and Ananda is bliss, full of bliss. The nature of the soul is to be happy. Hmm. The soul wants happiness. So everything what we manifest outside is due to the nature of the soul because we want to be happy. This tendency is in us. And because of this tendency is there in us, we want to satisfy our tendency to become happy. And therefore, we are looking for so many things outside, isn't it? A boy is looking for a girl is looking for a boy, thinking that this boy girl relationship will give them happy. Or we are going into watching movies, watching cinemas, playing games, thinking that it will give us happiness. All of us are looking for happiness in life. But somehow we find that it is just like polishing the outside cage. But somehow we don't feel nourishment inside, isn't it? I hope you are also feeling the same. So that's why you are here. You have come to attend this session and get the knowledge how to be happy. What is the real eternal happiness in life? Okay, so that is the level of Ananda. So that is the level of this. Yes, Akshay sir, you can go forward. Yes. So we have discussed all these things: physical level of happiness, mental level of happiness, and finally, yeah, you can go. You can pause it this slide. So yeah, you can just go back to the previous slide. Yes. So physical level of happiness, we were discussing how this material level of happiness cannot give us satisfaction. You see, just like the example of a donkey and a donkey and a carrot. It's a very relevant example in our lives, isn't it? So you see that all throughout we are working very hard. You know this example. So what is the very nice significance of this diagram you understood? So this donkey is running behind this carrot. You can see that he is running, and his carrot is tied to his back using this stick. Hmm. So what will happen when the donkey tries to approach the carrot? What will happen? Anybody? Okay. So what will happen is that when the donkey just makes one step forward to get the carrot, what will happen? The carrot will also move one step forward, isn't it? Because it is tied to the donkey, isn't it? Another step he makes forward, another step this carrot moves ahead. So actually this technique, this trick is used by washermen in olden days. So what they used to do, they used to, because these donkeys, these asses, they like carrot very much. They will just put one carrot in front of the ass and tie it to the back. And what they used to, they would put heavy loads of clothes on his back. And in greed of this carrot, this donkey would try to approach it, try to catch it, try to get hold of it, thinking that it will make him happy, thinking that it will give him happiness. And as like with that, they would move forward. He would start moving forward. And also, when if you move forward, he will get to the next village. The washerman, he would see, okay, my job is done. My job was to bring this clothes from one village to another. And this donkey, thinking of aspiring for this carrot, he just moved from one village to another, carrying the heavy load of this clothes. And what would happen next? This washerman, okay, thinking that okay, my job is done. Now I will give this small carrot, one tiny piece of carrot to this donkey, and this donkey is full, and the yes, and this donkey is like fatigued, and he's like panting, and he's like sweating. And what is the reward of his service? Is just one small carrot. Hmm. So don't you think that we are in a similar situation in our life? Hmm. So all throughout our life, from our childhood, we have been struggling for some material gain, isn't it? So just like we are in a school struggling for becoming a topper in a school, then class 12 exam, we are trying to become good grades in our plus two. Then we come to a college, we are struggling for getting entrance into the college. And then we are looking for jobs and then looking for good wife or good husband. And this way, the carrot is just hanging in front of us, this carrot of happiness, this carrot of material happiness. And somehow or the other, this bait is just moving one step ahead. We are also making one step progress, and somehow this carrot is also making one step progress. And it is like motivating us to work harder and harder and harder. But the end of the day, what is the result? Are we satisfied in our lives? Are we happy in our lives? Hmm, that is the question. So just think, you should think within yourself that am I happy and am I satisfied in my life? If the answer is yes, then it's good. You have found the right path. But if the answer is no, that where I can get this happiness? What is the true source of this happiness? So there was a very nice, these nice stories that I can tell you this story. And there is one question after that you can try to answer. So there was once upon a time there was few friends, five friends in among different engineering colleges. They planned, they got a lottery, they won a lottery, and they planned with that money what they earned from the lottery, they would make a trip to US. And so all of them they packed their luggage and went to US for making a trip. And they reached there and they booked their room in a very grand and multi-storied skyscraper hotel. So in US, their buildings are very big. They're all skyscraper buildings, 100 floor, 200 floor buildings are there. In India we don't see them, but US it is there. And somehow they got the room in the 100th floor of this hotel, grand hotel. So after getting the room, they thought that they would go for some sightseeing and all. They went there sightseeing, did their all whatever activities they wanted to do, and when they came back to the hotel, they found that suddenly there was a power cut in US, in United States of America, New York City. There was a power cut, and this power cut is there, but that is very unusual. But they asked the reception, they told nothing can be done now. You have to go to your room. You have to climb the stairs and go to your room because it's power cut and you do not know when it will come back. So that was unusual, but all of them were like so much depression, shell shocked. What can I do? At what floor they had the room? They had the room on the 100th floor, isn't it? So they had the room on the 100th floor and there was a power cut. And all of them thought, okay, we have to climb 100 stairs, it will take hours. It is such a miserable thing that we have to do. So what we can do now? So all of these friends, they reached one conclusion. Okay, say five of us are there. So while we are climbing the stairs, what all of us would do is that, so each one of us would share one of the very heart-wrenching, very saddening, and very miserable story in their lives. So what was the plan? That each one of them would share a very miserable and very saddening story in their lives. And when they would share that in this way, what will happen? Just by taking part in the grief of that person in his story, that all of them would forget the pain in climbing the stairs. Isn't it? Nice idea, isn't it? So all were engineering students, therefore they had nice ideas. So they thought that okay, we'll do it like this. So each one of them they started climbing the stairs, and each one of them started narrating one of the very saddening and very deeply regretting and remorseful and very heart-wrenching story in their lives. And what happened is that when all of them, when all of them started climbing, and when they were hearing the story, all of them had tears in their eyes, and they were so much touched in their hearts and by the grief of the other person who was telling the story. And that they completely forgot the pain that they were getting in climbing the stairs. Huh. So what happened is that like 4 or 5 of them had already told their stories, and they had like almost some 20, 30 steps were remaining. So then the turn came for the last man, to the last person to narrate his story of grief. And okay, then all of them asked, okay, now it's your turn, you should tell your story. And this person, when he just heard it, that this is my turn to tell the story, he started crying. And the others started, hey, you have not even started telling your story only, and you're crying. What is it? Please let us know. And this person told that, see, if I tell a story, you cannot bear it because it is so painful. And you will be so much in grief that you cannot withstand that pain. So better I not tell it. So the other insisted, no, no, you should tell it. You should tell. Please share with us what is your story of grief. And finally he told that, okay, if you want to know what is my story of grief, I will tell you. So you know what he told? What was the story? He told that through all this, like 1 or 2 hours, we had been climbing the stairs to reach to our destination, to reach to our room. But unfortunately, I have left the key of this room at the reception desk. That was a story of grief. So when others heard that, all of them started crying only. Because all this endeavor to reach their room and all this hard work from hours, and they were reaching the room, but they were all in vain because we had forgotten the key to the room at the reception desk only. So how many of you could relate this story with your life? And what do you think is the moral of this story and how it can be related? Okay. So let's see, I want the answer from all of you. Who would like to answer? I see so many of you are there. Okay, thanks for joining all. Okay, who would like to answer? How is the story relevant in our life? Suraj, Somnath, Anvay, Nishant. So all of you understood the story or not? Would you could get it?
Sir, I want to briefly repeat it again because I joined late.
Okay. Okay, Nishant. So I will just briefly repeat it. So it was so happened that there were 5 friends. 5 friends. They had won a lottery and they had gone to the US for like sightseeing and all for the tour, making a tour in US. And they had gotten hotel or room at the 100th story of a very marvelous building hotel. And somehow it happened that the day when they came and they got the room, it happened that there was a power cut in the New York City. Somehow it happened, and there was no chance the power would come back very soon. So they all decided that they have to climb the stairs to reach the room, and but it would be so time taking and laborious to climb to 100th floor. So they all decided that each one of us would tell one story of grief while climbing the stairs, so that while hearing the grief of the other person, that we would forget our own pain of misery. Like that. So in this way, they started climbing, and each one of them highlighted the story of grief. And in this way, they were so much absorbed in hearing others' problems and others' grief, and they completely forgot their own problem in life. Hmm. And it so happened that all of them had completed telling the story except one person. And when this friend asked, okay, you tell your story now, because we have almost reached our room. And when this person was asked to tell his story, this person told that my story is so much heart wrenching that you cannot bear it. And what is his story? When he was like forced to tell, he told, okay, I will tell, but be ready to listen. And what was his story? That he had forgotten the key to this room. and he had left it in the reception desk only. Okay. Now, Nishant, you got the story?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, can you share? Do you think that what is the moral of the story? How it is applicable to our own life?
सर दैट इज दुनिया में एक सेकेंड, एक मिनट सर.
हाँ जी.
हाँ सर, दुनिया में कितना गम है, मेरा गम कितना कम है.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Anybody else? Any thoughts? Any ideas? निशांत जी का तो अच्छा थॉट था. दुनिया में बहुत गम है, मेरा गम कितना कम है. What do you think? What does it mean that they have left the key at the reception desk? So does it has anything to do with our topic today? What do you feel? Milan, Mohul, Nandini, Nishant already told, Praveen. Some ideas? Anybody from any one of you? You're all engineers and good intellectual
Sir,
beings.
I think that it symbolizes that we are distracted in our life. Like he actually forgot the keys वो जब ऊपर पहुंचा, and the whole way they were discussing. So we are distracted, Maya say, and we actually forget the purpose of life. I think this is this way.
Okay. Yes, thank you. Thank you for answer. This is a power cut. So it's very dark here. I couldn't on my video. But it's very true what you have said. So everybody is trying to reach our goal, isn't it? So climbing the 100 stories of this building is like reaching the goal in our life. We are endeavoring so hard, isn't it? हम लोग इतना मेहनत कर रहे हैं किस जिंदगी में वो लक्ष्य प्राप्त करने के लिए. बट जब हम वो लक्ष्य प्राप्त करने वाले हैं, वी आर जस्ट नियर टू द गोल, वी फील दैट अरे वी हैव वर्कड सो हार्ड बट somehow we are not getting satisfaction. Somehow we have forgotten the key, जो चाबी है जिससे अपनों को सक्सेस मिले जिंदगी में, जिससे हम लोग को खुशी मिलेगा इस जिंदगी में. I have that forgotten the key. So although we have worked so hard, isn't it? But are we satisfied in our life? Somehow in our life something is missing, that key is missing with which we can open this door of happiness. Okay, so this key is somewhere else. ठीक है, ये चाबी कहीं तो हम लोग को छूट गया है. What is this key symbolizes? This key symbolizes the Adhyatmic knowledge, the spiritual knowledge, the knowledge of the relationship between the soul and the supreme. So जब तक, so only that thing is missing in our life. Other everything is there. All our academic activities and facilities are there. But जब तक हम लोग को समझ में नहीं आता हम कौन है, who am I, and what is my relationship with God, and am I eternal or am I temporary? Is there something after beyond this life and death? So what is that knowledge, and how can I be ever happy and existing in life? जब तक हम लोग को ये समझ में नहीं आता, then till that time we are not satisfied. Till that time we will be looking for happiness here and there, idhar, just like a mirage in desert, isn't it? Mirage होता है ना in the desert. So in desert, if you go anywhere you look, you will find the water is there, and be running towards that to get that water because you are so much thirsty. But whenever you go there, you find it's just sand. Same in this material world also, same situation. Okay, Akshay sir, you can go to the next slide. Yes. Yeah. So this is a very nice analogy. So till now, what we have seen is that material world में जो सुख मिलता है, that is very temporary in nature. We want to get eternal happiness. Why? Because we are the spirit soul. Because we are the Jivatma, whose characteristics is such ananda, such means eternal. Chit is full of knowledge. Ananda is full of bliss. We want to be eternally happy in life because that is the coming from the soul. That is the characteristics of the soul. But somehow we don't have that key to that ultimate happiness. We don't have the key to the success. We are finding it somewhere. So what is the key? So therefore, to know this knowledge, we should know what is the knowledge of the soul, knowledge of the supreme, knowledge of the Shastras. So that is there in very sacred text like Indian text like Bhagavad Gita. Akshay sir, you can go to the next slide once. We'll come back to this slide. We'll explain this, but for timing, yes, I want to show this one. So what Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, so Bhagavad Gita all of us know, isn't it? It's such a well-renowned and Indian scripture, Indian literature, and it is this book, this sacred text is even taught in foreign universities like Massachusetts and Harvard because there's such profound knowledge. So Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, Bandhur atmanas tasya yenatmevatmana jitaha anatmanas tu shatrutve mattatmeva shatruvat. So what does it mean? So this is a 6.6. This means for one person whose mind is controlled, for him his mind is the best friend. And for one person whose mind is uncontrolled, his mind is the greatest of enemy. The Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita that unless you control your mind, unless you can control your senses, you will not be satisfied in life. You will always be in depression. You will always in so much anxiety. But for one whose mind is controlled, then he is fixed in his aim, fixed in his purpose in his life. Okay. So yes, Akshay, you can go to the previous slide. Now let us explain this previous slide. Yes. Yeah. So this is an example, very nice example, Shastric example. That how. So all of you can see this example. So what is very prominent in this example? There are horses. There is one chariot, and there is two persons on the chariot, isn't it? There is one person who is driving it, and there is one passenger. Okay. So seeing this picture, can anybody of you tell that what is the significance of this horses and this driver and this passenger? It is written there, but I would want to hear from you that what you understand from it.
Mind, soul, and senses, and our organs.
Yeah, very nice, Nishant. So can you just little bit explain that what are these senses and what is the mind in this diagram?
Sir, the mind is the one who is no, sir. The one who is driving is our soul. And no, sir. Wait, sir. Yes, sir. The mind is controlling all the senses so that we can achieve our goal to go to the right direction, and we need our spirituality connection or soul to guide us in a correct way.
See, these 5 horses represent the 5 senses. And what is the tendency of our senses? The tendency of our senses is to go here and there, isn't it? कभी क्या होता है, आंखें इधर चले जाती है, हाथ उधर चले जाते हैं. A tongue wants to taste something nice, eyes want to see something beautiful, yes, and hands want to touch something soft. So the senses are always in a distracted state. They want to go here and there, here and there. But there's one force that is pulling every one of them. So what is that ropes? What is the rope that is pulling all the senses? That is the rope of the, Milan is telling rightly, the mind. So the mind is controlling all the senses. Okay, the mind is a boss. And this boss is the controller of these senses. Okay? And it is said that even this mind is also has one controller. उसके ऊपर भी एक boss है. वो कौन है? Intelligence. Intelligence of mind में भी फर्क आता है. So this intelligence is also different from the mind. So you see the mind, the nature of the mind is चंचल. हम लोगों को कितना बार लगता है कि अपना मन बहल जाता है इधर उधर, ठीक है, इस चीज से उस चीज से, बंदर जैसे एक पेड़ से दूसरे पेड़ कूदते रहता है अपना माइंड, isn't it? But somehow we have to control it. The controlling force क्या है? ज्ञान, knowledge, isn't it? So this knowledge comes from this intelligence. So this intelligence is the controller who controls his mind. And who is the controller in this diagram? This is the driver of this chariot. ये जो रस्सी है जो पकड़ के रखा है, और ये रस्सी से 5 horses को पकड़ के रखा है. So that is the intelligence. And then this chariot is the body. And who is this passenger of this chariot? किसको लेके जा रहे हैं हम लोग? This is a journey of life. And this journey of life, who is the passenger? This soul. अपना आत्मा. So आत्मा इस शरीर में है, और शरीर को we are going through this journey of life. And this journey of life we are driven by our senses. And somehow we have to pull our senses back and not to allow it to get distracted by the mind and intelligence. So therefore Krishna said, we saw just the verse in Bhagavad Gita. Yes, Akshay, you can go forward. We saw the verse in Bhagavad Gita that says that we should control the mind, because once the mind is controlled, then it is just like a best friend. So therefore, we have to, the formula is that, the equation is that happiness is there inside us. We have to search for happiness inside us. That is the spiritual happiness. And how it is possible? It is only possible when we control our mind and senses and not allow it to get distracted by the like material glitters and glamour, isn't it? So how many of you feel that this glitters of this world is so distracting? It is just like an illusion. It will promise us something, but असलियत में वो ऐसा होता नहीं है. जैसे कि एक advertisement. So how many of times you have seen advertisement, like advertisement of a very big shining car, isn't it? And with that car, there are many beautiful girls surrounding that car. The people get attracted to the car because they think that when I ride the car, when I buy the car, we'll get all the beautiful girls also. So that is the material world, झलक दिखलाते हैं, isn't it? So it will pose us such an like a fancy picture that if you get this commodity, अगर हम ये purchase करते हैं, if you get this smartphone, you get this car or get this building or something, or we'll get happiness in life. But असलियत में वैसा होता नहीं है. So you have seen just like this carrot and the donkey. वो carrot moves one step ahead and we have to work hard again to get it. ठीक है? Okay. Akshay sir, please move forward. Yeah, the nature of the mind in a chariot. Yes, please go to the next slide. Yes, Akshay sir, you can go to the next slide. Yes. Yes, what is written? We want to control over the material nature and want to control things without caring for God, who is the real proprietor and controller. Controller mentality. So I will just explain you. कहानी बताते हैं. A very nice story. So once upon a time, it so happened that it's a very like allegorical story. So the story is like means a story by analogy. So it so happened that once all the senses in the body, they had a debate and discussion among them. So what are these senses? These hands, these legs, these eyes, this tongue, this nose. Once upon a time, what happened? All of them called for a meeting. And in that meeting, they decided that all of them are working very hard. Why? To feed food to the stomach. Isn't it? The hand is working to feed food to the stomach. The eyes are working, the tongue is tasting, the legs are moving to feed food to the stomach. But somehow this stomach seems not to work at all. वो just बैठे रहते हैं, बस खाना खाते रहते हैं. And we are working. हम लोग इतना मेहनत करते हैं, पर हमें उतना ज़्यादा share नहीं मिलता. We get only little. ठीक है? So all of them started fighting among themselves. The hand started telling that I should get the maximum share. The leg started telling that I should get the maximum share. And in this way, that all of them are fighting among themselves, and who would get the maximum share of food. And all of them decided that we will not provide any food to the stomach, because you see that I am working and just the stomach is sitting and eating. वो कुछ काम नहीं करना. ठीक है? हम लोग काम किए जा रहे हैं दिन रात, और ये जो स्टमक है वो बस बैठे रहते हैं और खाते रहते हैं बस. So what they decided that from tomorrow we'll call a strike. Strike क्या होता है? हड़ताल. ठीक है? बंद. कोई काम नहीं करेगा. ठीक है? So next day all of them stopped working. The hand stopped working, the leg stopped working. Nobody was going after food. Nobody was preparing anything. ठीक है? And nobody was endeavoring to feed food to the stomach, because they thought जो stomach है इसको तो खाना बिल्कुल नहीं देना. As a strike. So what do you think would have happened after a few days? So naturally, after a few days, this hands and legs, they started becoming weak. Eyes become weak, because उन्हें तो क्या खाना नहीं मिल रहा. So they stopped working. And again they came for discussion and debate. तो उसमें क्या डिसाइड हुआ, दे ऑल डिसाइड यार बट ये कारण क्यों हुआ, ऐसे क्यों हो गया कि वी आर becoming so weak. So then they understood is that what they understood the role and the purpose of the stomach or the belly. तो stomach का क्या रोल होता है कि it वो digest the food, उसको जो food मिलता है वो digest करता है. Digest करने से क्या होता है कि when it digests the food it supplies nutrients and energy for the functioning of all the organs. है कि नहीं? So when the
Yes,
stomach
sir.
gets, yeah, so when the stomach gets food, only then you see our hands and legs will get energy. So then they understood, oh, ऐसा बात है क्या? So then they understood that what is the role of the stomach. So when you feed the stomach, all the vital organs of the body are nourished. Hmm. So इस स्टोरी से हमें क्या सीखने को मिलता है? What is the main meaning behind the story? The meaning behind the story is that when we invest in the core spiritual principles in a life, that we will get nourishment in all the different spheres of our activity, whatever we perform. So just another example, very similar example. So अगर आपको किसी पेड़ को पौधे को you want to grow it, ठीक है, it is already grown, but if you want to grow it more, what is the best place to put water? ठीक है, किसी पौधे को पानी देना है तो what is the best place to put water in? Stem?
Mm,
हाँ बताइए निशा.
no, sir. In the surrounding of the roots, means
Ah,
a little far from the stem.
correct. Nice. Nishant is telling that if you want to grow the plant, we have to put water on the root of the plant. If you put water on the leaves, little bit, it will not work. Put water on stems, and that will also not affect very much. But if you put water on the root of the tree, then it will have the maximum benefit. So similarly, we want real satisfaction in our life. So real satisfaction comes when we invest on a core spiritual principles, when we invest in the connection with the Supreme Lord. So that is just like the root or the foundation. So that the foundation of our life, foundation of our human form of life. The human form of life, the goal of the human form of life is to inquire who am I. जब हमें इस चीज का आंसर मिल गया, जैसे कि all of you are coming to these sessions, all of us know that okay, there is something called as soul, Atma, soul is eternal. There is something called as life after life also. And जब हमें ये knowledge पता है, so why not invest in it? When we invest in this knowledge, we find that this is the key to get eternal satisfaction. Because once the root of the tree is nourished, entire tree gets, means root of the tree is water, entire tree gets nourished. Similarly, if we invest in spiritual connection with Lord, understanding this relationship between the soul and the Supreme, and we understand what is the nature of spirituality and what is the nature of spiritual happiness, we find that with this knowledge we can become happy and fulfilled and satisfied in our life more and more. Okay, unlike the different material happiness, the glittering illusion of this world that promises us the happiness, isn't it? You have seen the example, na? You see a billboard and advertisement of of your favorite cricket star holding one soap, and you think that when you apply the soap on your body, you will become like Virat Kohli, who is like the person in the advertisement. So that is how illusory is the glittering happiness of this material world. So it promises a lot, but ultimately kuch hota nahi hai, nothing happens. But what Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, that you come back to me, you come back to my dham, so where we all eternally belong to the spiritual world. Okay, Akshay sir, you can go to the next slide. Yeah, so Krishna says that this Jivatma is a part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, and all of us are eternally existing in as a part of the spiritual world, where we are eternally existing with the Supreme Lord. And in the spiritual world, it is like full of bliss, full of ananda. There is no question of misery or dissatisfaction. Where every word is a song, every step is a dance, and every moment is a moment of joy and happiness. So when we take to spirituality, when we know about God and who is God, God is like an eternal Father, and when we strive to make a connection with Him, okay? So just मान लो एक example है. Suppose your father is a millionaire, you are son of a very rich and billionaire father. But now, due to some activity and something in your life, you have forgotten who is your father. and because of this you are impoverished, आपके पास कुछ पैसा नहीं है, सब पैसा वैसा खत्म हो गया, तो आप क्या करेंगे जिंदगी में? And then you are told that okay, you belong to this, you are actually the son of this billionaire. So what will you do? Go back to your father, because go back to your father, he is a billionaire, he can give you all the wealth and you become happy in your life, isn't it? So similarly, Krishna, or the Supreme Lord, he is a father, eternal father. Krishna said, Aham bija pradavita. He is the seed giving father of every living entity. So when we strive a relationship, जब हम लोग उनसे संपर्क बनाते हैं, योगा का मीनिंग क्या है? What is the meaning of the word yoga? Yoga means unite, isn't it? So yoga doesn't mean to perform some gymnastics, ठीक है? कुछ प्राणायाम कर लिया, कपालभाति कर लिया, वो योग नहीं है. तो योगा है जो भगवद गीता में बताया जाता है, कृष्ण बताते हैं क्या है? How to connect to the Supreme Lord, how to make a strive a relationship with the Supreme Lord. So when we strive a relation, make a relationship with the Supreme Lord, then we'll find that we'll find a treasure within us of this eternal peace and और उसको कैसे करते हैं? So करने के लिए there is one formula. So this formula of known as changes, CHANGES, changes. Okay. So with this formula we can absorb the knowledge of the Supreme Lord. So first is that C stands for chanting. That we should always keep the holy name of the Lord with us. ठीक है? जैसे कि आप देखे होंगे कोई भी अगर काम करते ऐसे काम करते करते we would see that anybody will chant the name of the Lord. तो ऐसे भगवान बताते हैं भगवद गीता में, मन मना भव मन भक्त मद याजी मम, always remember me. ठीक है? हमेशा भगवान को याद करना. How can we remember that? We can remember that by chanting his name. That is C. Then H. H stands for hearing. We should hear from a proper bona fide authority about the Supreme Lord. When we hear, then ultimately we'll remember the relationship. Then A stands for association. Association with saintly people. So it is told that person कैसा है, आपको कैसे, how to know a person? You can know a person by the company he keeps. Just like if there are 3 persons who are millionaires and there is a 4th person who mixes with them, he will also become a millionaire one day. There are 3 studious persons in the class, they are very brilliant minded, and there's 1 4th person who goes and associates with them, he will also become a topper in the class. There are 3 drunkards and there's a 4th person who goes and associates with them. Even though he has no tendency to drink, he will become the 4th drunkard. So a person is known by the association he keeps. So we always should try to keep good association, like association of saintly people. So this is A. Then N stands for negating distractions. तो distractions है जैसे कि lust, greed, कितने distractions आते हैं अपने जीवन में. We should try to negate it, इसको खत्म करने का कोशिश. And G stands for Guru. You should hear from a spiritual master, spiritual authority about the spiritual instruction. And then change हो गया, बचे E और S. So E stands for experience. So when we practice this formula, when we practice chanting, hearing, association, negative distraction, Jiva, Guru, and then we'll find a real practical experience of joy in our life. We'll experience the spiritual bliss in our life. That is stand for E. And when we experience the E experience, then what we should do? Then we should go for S. What is this S? So share. S stands for share. We share this knowledge with others. So जब हम लोग ये कर पाएंगे तो then we will find that life is really fulfilling, blissful. Actually, the material world propagates that we are like some material beings with some emotions and spiritual consciousness. But in reality, Shastras tell that we are spiritual beings, not material beings. So the Jivatma with some material experience, stuck in this material world. So we are spiritual beings in this material world. Okay. Sakshi is asking what does H stands for? H stands for hearing. So hear from the right authority. Hearing. तो किसके बारे में सुनना है? We should hear. तो what should we hear about? We should hear about the Supreme Lord. We should hear about the topics related to the Supreme Lord. We should hear about things that how can we remove the distractions from the Supreme Lord. So So whatever here, so जो हम लोग सुनते हैं वही दिमाग में रह जाते हैं, isn't it? That creates an impression in the mind, and that is just like a food for the soul. If you feed it more good, तो क्या होगा? You will get positive impressions. So there is a formula known as the Gigoff principle. ठीक है? So if you are from the computer science background, you know this principle. Gigo. What is Gigo stands for? Anybody if you know?
Garbage in, garbage out. Something like.
Yes. Yeah, correct, Nishan. Gigo means garbage in, garbage out. और उसका और एक एनालॉजी हो सकता है, good in, good out. This applies to us also. If you feed garbage to your mind, what will come out? Garbage.
Garbage.
So if you feed nasty things inside your mind by hearing, by so much television, so many outside things, what will come out? Person of difficult. But on the similar line, if you feed good to us, what will come out? Good will come out. So it's like good in, good out, and garbage in. So more and more we take spiritual input, more and more we take positive inputs in life, we would become more and more spiritual and peaceful, happy. Okay. So with this, I would like to conclude our sessions. Now I would like to open for question and answers. So anybody who has questions and answers, please feel free to come up with the questions. I hope this session was helpful. You didn't feel bored. Okay, I spoke for some 1 hour. If you feel bored, you can also say that. So whatever, any questions, any comments, anybody if you have anything related to the session, even outside the session, you can please ask, and I will be happy to discuss.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Suraj.
Sir, how to stay happy in tough time of our life?
Tough time, isn't it? Very nice question.
Yes, sir, when we try to achieve some goal, achieve some target, and that all.
Very nice question. Krishna has told that in Bhagavad Gita, how to perform our activities, and so that we are not disturbed by the results of the activity. So, so it is very important to take the actually what is the way we should perform our actions. Krishna is telling, Bhagavad Gita में लिखा है, कर्मण्यवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन, that ऐसे we should do our karma, and we should not be too much attached to the result of the fruit. So because what will happen if you are too much attached to the fruit of the activity मतलब कि हम लोग जो कर्म करते हैं उसको क्या रिजल्ट मिलेगा, ठीक है? We are always thinking about that. Just like you are giving an exam, you have your semester exam, and you have the last exam, on the day of last exam, you always think, okay, after this 1 hour, after this 2 hours, my exam is done, and I will plan, I will play cricket with my friends, and go for movie. So that is the planning for a fruitive results, fruitive activity. So no कर्म ऐसा करना है, we should be detached with the result. कि जो आए, even if it is our success, or even if it is a distress, we should take it for granted, because I have given my full efforts. I have not spared anything from my side, and therefore I can stay detached with the fruits of it. So that's why there is a principle that Bhagavad Gita teaches us. जो भी कर्म करते हो, don't get attached to the result. Attached to the endeavor you make in performing the action. Be attached to the hard work you perform in your actions, but don't attach the fruit of the action. ठीक है? ऐसे क्यों आप बोलेंगे तो फिर अरे ऐसे है, तो अगर हम मेहनत किए जा रहे हैं, वो फल नहीं मिल रहा, तो क्या मजा आएगा, ठीक है? बट कृष्ण क्या कहते हैं कि देयर इज अ लॉ ऑफ कर्मा. लॉ ऑफ कर्मा क्या होता है? तो आपको पता है लॉ ऑफ कर्मा क्या है?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is this law of karma, Nishant?
जैसा बोएंगे वैसा पाएंगे.
Newton's third law, isn't it? As you sow that you reap. तो जैसा कर्म करेंगे वैसा फल मिलेगा. So if you do good activities, definitely you will give pious. But it might so happen that it is like not immediately. It's like after some time you will get it. But you should be definite and sure that since you have done good activities, since you have put your endeavor, you will get that result. That is in your quota. So that is for sure. So that's why we can stay detached with that. And once we are detached, so it is so what is the symptom of a great personality stated in Bhagavad Gita? That he is neither disturbed in happiness or he is neither disturbed in distress. ठीक है, then that बहुत बड़ा पॉइंट है ना, समा दुखा सुखा शनि, कि दुख भी आएंगे जीवन में, सुख भी आएंगे जीवन में, तो he is not distressed, he is the same in every situation. So there is a quality of a great person. ऐसे बहुत सारे क्वालिटी डिस्कस किए गए भगवत गीता में। तो कैसे एक परफेक्ट पर्सन को कैसे बिहेव करना चाहिए, तो क्या उनका सोच होना चाहिए, क्या उनका धारणा होना चाहिए, और व्हाट शुड यू डू, व्हाट यू शुड थिंक अबाउट, ये सब डिस्कस किया गया है। सो वेरी नाइस क्वेश्चन सूरज, आई होप इट आंसर्स योर क्वेश्चन।
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू। ओके, वेरी नाइस। एनीबॉडी एल्स, एनी क्वेश्चंस, कमेंट?
Yes, sir.
निशांत।
Sir, my question is we have our senses and our mind and our soul, and our soul is right now not connected with the God. So we are in a mess, like we are in Maya. Okay. So the same way rockets need that extra force to overcome the Earth's pull to get out of that. In my question, that is material things. देन अभी मैं एसोसिएशन में आप लोगों के आया हूँ और अभी सब कुछ मेरे को समझ में आ रहा है, लेकिन तब भी मेरे में थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम है, मैं उतना अच्छे से कनेक्ट नहीं हो पा रहा हूँ और मेरे को थोड़ा रहता है कि मतलब मैं फेल होता हूँ तो मेरे को कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, लेकिन मेरा मूड भी स्पॉइल हो जाता है फेल होता हूँ तो उसको कैसे ओवरकम करूँ?
आस्किंग दैट कि हम लोग स्लो स्लो एसोसिएशन में आ रहे हैं, पर क्या है, एंडेवर करते हुए रिजल्ट नहीं मिलता, तो उससे क्या होता है कि थोड़ा डिप्रेशन काइंड ऑफ होता है। तो हाउ टू ओवरकम दैट, इजंट इट?
यस सर।
तो उसका ये आंसर है कि फर्स्ट वी, जैसे कि हम लोग बताए हैं, जो फॉर्मूला बताया आपको, क्या फॉर्मूला था? चेंजेस। You stick to this formula. If you do it very nicely, then we'll get the experience. So first is chanting, then hearing, then A means association, then N means negative distraction, and G for hearing from some spiritual authority, taking guidance from Guru or who is a spiritual authority, and E is then we find that experience. So ये तो बहुत जरूरी है कि we stick to this path, ठीक है? भले ही हम लोग को सक्सेस नहीं मिल रहा, भले ही हम लोग को अभी प्रेजेंटली उतना, जैसे वी ऑल ट्राइंग, वी ऑल नो दैट कि दिस मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में उतना सुख नहीं है, इस सेंसेस में उतना प्लेजर नहीं है, बट स्टिल अ सेंसेस गेट ड्रैग टुवर्ड्स एंजॉयमेंट। कितने बार होते हैं हम लोग को पता है कि ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए, बट अगेन देन हम लोग सेंसेस, वी आर पुल्ड बाय द फोर्सेस ऑफ दिस सेंसेस एंड वी परफॉर्म रॉन्ग एक्टिविटीज, ठीक है? व्हाई डज इट हैपन? आपको क्या लगता है निशान, ऐसा क्यों होता है?
कि मैं अभी अच्छी तरह से एडुकेट नहीं हो पाया हूँ, अभी भी नॉलेज का कमी है।
यू हैव द आंसर विथ यू आल्सो, क्योंकि हम लोग अभी उतना प्यूरिफाइड नहीं है, अभी अपना उतना नॉलेज है नहीं अभी। सो देयरफॉर जस्ट लाइक वी हैव सीन इन द डायग्राम, इजंट इट? तो सेंसेस को पुल करने के लिए क्या चाहिए? माइंड चाहिए, ठीक है? माइंड क्या, वो रोप्स का काम करता है। एंड इफ माइंड इज नॉट स्ट्रांग, माइंड को कौन स्ट्रांग बनाते हैं? रोप्स को कौन स्ट्रांग बनाते हैं? द ड्राइवर, हु इज द इंटेलिजेंस। सो इफ आवर इंटेलिजेंस इज वीक, then is there any possibility to control the senses? No possibility, isn't it? So as we saw Krishna saying Bhagavad Gita, if mind is the best friend, then all our life, कुछ भी आप दुनिया में काम करेंगे, you will be successful in that. If you can just make your mind as your best friend. So you have to make your intelligence strong. You have to get the determination, the willpower. नहीं, मुझे ये करना है, ठीक है? You go to the right path. वो कैसे करेंगे? When you more hear, when you more chant, when you more associate with saintly people and negate distraction, if you follow this, do it more, ठीक है? Then you can make your intelligence strong. So very nice example is that in one of the very Bible when it comes, that our body means every one of us, our consciousness and nature, there is a good nature and there is a bad nature. All of us, isn't it? सब में ऐसा होता है. There is a negative part and there is a positive part. ठीक है? So they are just like compared to So they are just like compared to two dogs who are fighting within us. One is a good dog and one is a bad dog. So they are always engaged in fight among themselves. ठीक है, दो कुत्ते हैं, दो बीच में क्या कर रहे हैं, लड़ रहे हैं, झगड़ा कर रहे हैं. ठीक है. So now among them who would win? कौन जीतेगा? Obviously one who is stronger they would, दोनों में से one is stronger he would win. ठीक है. So these two dogs represent the good side and the bad side, the evil and the good within each one of us. So they are fighting based on, they're fighting among themselves. And who would win? One who is stronger, he would win. And what would decide one is stronger or not? कौन decide करेगा? कि whom gets the more food, जिसको हम ज्यादा खिलाते हैं, so that they would become, that dog will become the more stronger. है कि नहीं?
Yes, sir.
So what decides that whom we feed more? Just like the principle, ego principle, garbage in, garbage out. So just like negative thoughts and distractions are food for the bad dog, isn't it? And the positive thoughts, spiritual inputs, and attending the spiritual classes, chanting, hearing, so all these are the food for the good dog. Okay. So the more we feed the good dog, it will become stronger and it can defeat the bad dog or the negative tendencies in us. ठीक है. तो जब भी ऐसा टसल चलता है माइंड में कि गुड और बैड में बीच में फाइट होता है, ठीक है, वी शुड रिमेम्बर दिस प्रिंसिपल एंड वी शुड रिमेम्बर दैट वी हैव टू feed the good dog by taking spiritual inputs more. Okay, by taking positive inputs more. And once we take the positive, we feel more energized and we can defeat this negative tendencies very easily. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Nishan. Hope it answers your question.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. Anybody else any questions or comments? Any questions, any comments, any feedback for me that how was the session? Praveen, Rahul, okay, I see so many of you there. Kunal, Milan. I see Milan was answering some, giving his thoughts on the chat. It was very nice. Thank you. Okay, so if nobody have your questions, so okay. Thank you, Sakshi, for your nice feedback. So if nobody has any questions, so Akshay sir, what is the plan? Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Akshay sir, for providing the opportunity. It's a very nice experience to interact with all of you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Nishan. Thank you. Okay. So, can we end here then? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Akshay sir, for managing all of this. Okay, sir.